name is Leslie Ann Cao, and my exhibition was titled If Time is an Arrow, What is its Target? Central to it was material, its transformation, its transmission, and ideas about what states and processes are observable. The works in this exhibition all engaged with light, with heat, with liquids, with sound, and I think it would be interesting if someone viewing this exhibition think about maybe the act of looking, of observing, not just artworks as in a way like finished or completed presentations, but also audiences can view them and read them and in a way have a complete experience still.
Ako si Yuri Deguer. Yung show ko, yung Beauties in the Eye of the Colonizer. Dahil yung kasaysayan natin na colonized tayo, tas kahit hanggang ngayon parang neo-colonized pa din. Yung kultura natin, parang paano siya nabuo? Paano siya inimpose sa atin ng mga nagdaan ng mga colonizers? Tas mula doon, paano na-shape yung kung paano natin tignan yung concept ng kagandahan. Pag nakita nila tong pyesa, parang ma-question yung existing na kultura, yung kaisipan, yung philosophy na meron tayo, kanino siya nagsisilbi, kaninong interes, kanino siya dinesign, kanino siya shinape, para kanino. Pwedeng matuwa sila sa painting pero bukod pa doon yung mga layers pa. Ayan.
Ako si Louie Gonzalez. The title of my show is A Tree is a Seed as It Falls. The show is about relativity and the illusion of time and how everything is happening all at once and human perception, kung paano natin siya naigagrasp. What led me to make the works is my interest with textures that are left behind by time on everyday objects. On a personal scale, we see these things that we put our notice into, and on a larger scale beyond the grand scheme of things. The show encourages us to value our reactions over the things that we encounter. For our mind is gifted with the idea of the present. That can be said in the main piece that I made called The Perception of Choice Despite the Probability of Fate.
I like old traditions, but my work is not traditional. With my exhibition Bakit Pa, I reflect on living in a secular society while being raised in an interfaith home, and I believe that many Filipinos in a diaspora have the same experience. For Bakit Pa, I turned a secular space into a sacred space. I chose symbols like water, light, mirrors, and a cross, which reflect my Christian upbringing, but they're not exclusive to it. We did a renewal of my baptismal vows with Father Joseph, so I actually fulfilled my father's wish to choose my own belief. My practice is not about binaries, but everything in between. I believe God is in everyone and in all things, even if she doesn't exist.
Hi, I'm Celine Mercado. My project/exhibition is called Between the Lines. So the project is about Filipino diasporic identity and displacement. I want them to feel the uncanny aspect of, I think, being displaced, because I am a temporary migrant and I want to communicate that through my installations. The creative methodology is pretty simple. Like, you take a piece of secondhand furniture, you wrap it in fiber threads, and then you suspend it. And labor is like really important part of the project. It's to embody and I think show affinity for Filipino migrants who come here because of labor-induced migration, so they come here to work. A lot of Filipinos, we have a very large diaspora like all over the world, and it's not uncommon that like we grow up being told that you have to leave the Philippines, you have to go to the West so that you can make it. But you don't have to be Filipino to experience human displacement. We all go through that. And I think that's what I want to communicate, like when people encounter my installations. It's that longing to be grounded, to be home. I think that's that.
My name is Hannah Reyes Morales. I'm a documentary photographer, and this exhibition is called Home Hold Still. In many ways, it's a homecoming. I haven't lived in the Philippines the last couple of years, and Home Hold Still was a return both to the Philippines, but a return to photography as well. So much of the work when I'm making these images is really about relationship building and negotiating access in a lot of ways. I spend a lot of time not photographing, having tea with people, sitting down, listening, playing with their children, babysitting. It's just a lot of time trying to explain to people why I'm there, what I'm doing, and a lot of time also just listening. And with documentary photography in particular, you are quite dependent on those chance encounters. You're dependent on moments happening. It's nice to be able to hold those moments still and to revisit them over and over and over.
I am Veronica Peralejo, and I'm a visual artist. My solo exhibition is titled A Tiny Ball of Mud. For this exhibition, I was inspired by potter wasp nests found in my surroundings. Potter wasps are solitary in nature, meaning one female potter wasp alone goes through a complicated process to build an abundance of fascinating nests. It was an opportunity to play with material, process, and the challenge to explore a new understanding of forms found from nature. By making this miniature pottery series, I wanted to invite the audience to muse on the smallness of its details, to think about what these vessels mean to us and what it holds within. Are there vessels that only hold abstract things, or are they always full of meanings linked to life and death? Nature's grand design is a wealth of knowledge to explore for an artist like me, who is constantly attempting to find new meanings in the banal, such as a tiny ball of mud.
I'm Isay Rodriguez, I'm an artist. Today, you see, it's the tip of the iceberg of what I wanted to bring in this. It's like an act of decolonizing. When you experience the show, you're greeted by 7 portraits of stingless hives. Without knowing anything about these, it's an invitation of looking at something without trying to diagnose anything, because I'm not asking people to look at it as like experts of something or some sort. It's like an exercise of empathy. So I've been thinking about this since I met them in 2017. And since then, it has helped me think about my practice deeper. And when you think about things in an ecological way, sometimes the problems arise because it's about the management of resources. It's really about a bigger thing that's beyond ourselves or hive mates. Every day, when I work on things that are not really directly related to what I do as a visual artist, but it also enriches how I see my practice.
I'm Minnie Sanchez. My show, Sa Ilog Nagtatagpo, was exhibited in West Gallery on September 14, 2023. Everything in the exhibition was rooted in this practice from my province called gulgol. It's a form of parting and healing. You're there to wash away all the signs of mourning. At some point, the losses were becoming too frequent, and gulgol started to feel like a routine. So that's when I started forming questions like, on the premise of beyond religion and family tradition, how do we say goodbye to people we have lost? And as someone who has to stay, how do you carry on? Responding to my questions through this exhibition has allowed me to articulate beyond photography and cyanotype printing. All losses are too much and always untimely. But through art, I think I can keep insisting on memory keeping. Memory keeping because this is what makes sense to me right now. This is what I can hold, and this is what I can understand. In a way, this is how I surrender to what is natural and fleeting. Above everything else, I think this is how I can keep looking at life with light.
Hi, I am Jel Suarez, and the shortlisted exhibition is entitled As I Lift One Stone. Months leading to this exhibition, we found as a family that my mom was facing some health challenges. I think this situation shaped how I produced my works for this exhibition. This exhibition, As I Lift One Stone, became more than just a body of work. I think it was a documentation of that movement, that care, and that being present. Maybe I could not fix everything. I cannot control what's about to happen, but I can be present or I can be here. I just have to hold what I can and make something out of that. And I just have to let my heart expand, receive all that emotions, lift one stone at a time, and hope that it is enough. And trust that it will just all take shape in the end.
Yung totems ay tungkol doon sa unti-unting paglubog ng Bulacan at kung paano nakikipamuhay yung mga tao doon sa pabago-bago na landscape na kinabibilangan nila. Dahil sa unti-unting paglawan ng tubig sa kinaroonan nila na kinakailangan nilang lumipat na baklasin yung kinatatayuan ng bahay nila at ilipat sa isang higher ground. So yung ibang mga kahoy dito ay mula doon sa mga poste ng lumang bahay na galing pa sa mga lolo nila, inassemble ko sila. At yung mga pyesa dito ay tungkol doon sa mga flag markers na yun. Kaya pataas yung mga sculptural pieces. O kung hindi naman pataas, ay kakadugtong-dugtong. Ang unti-unting paglubog sa Bulacan ay hindi isang aksidente. Kung hindi ay resulta o bunga ng isang sistema na hindi oriented para sa mga tao, para sa masa.
Hi, my name is Giselle V. My exhibition is titled Two-Way Seeds Pulling Through. It took us more than 365 days of conceptualizing, conversing, planning, making, and firing. So my exhibition is inspired from a very simple form, which is the kapok pod and fibers. With this work, I wanted the viewers to slow down and appreciate the intricate details of the work, the crochet work, the clay work, how it was installed. The work is like a snapshot of awe and stillness that I felt when I saw the kapok fibers gently being blown by the wind, and I wanted to share that in this busy, fast-paced world, that the exhibition was a pocket where you can just be still.